when I walk in the spot.
This is what I see. Everyone listens to podcasts with me. I'm talking with my friend.
I got a passion in my pants. What?
I've got fashionable pants, and I'm not afraid to show it. That's the Kids Bop version.
Is it really?
I'm sure that, dude. There's Kids Bop versions for just the most obscene songs.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know any of them. I don't have enough cultural knowledge of Kids Bop.
I was at a Walmart once.
No.
Yeah, I know. Crazy. No. You ever have one of those days where you just go to Walmart twice and it's like, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life?
Unfortunately,
I was at a Walmart and this guy was blasting blinding lights by The Weeknd, which I thought was really funny because it's like, my understanding of blasting music is to show people how eclectic your taste is, right? To expose people to your taste. And so to me, blasting a top 40 hit is just very funny to me. And so I had to make my wife convince me not to pull up next to him with our windows down, blasting the Kids Bop version of Blinding Lights. Because I thought that'd be really funny.
That would be really funny.
Yeah.
1 degree away. Even better, is there like a VeggieTales version of Blinding Lights with like Bob and Larry on the track?
Someone get on the AI generation and make a VeggieTales Blinding Lights.
Dude, have you seen the AI SpongeBob characters preaching like Protestant sermons?
Crazy, right?
Those are insane.
Those are nuts.
It's just I don't know. It's just a I can't
you could listen, this is what we're going to do right now. There's so much AI generated SpongeBob generator. I'm just going to put the entire text. I'm going to put the entire text of Unum Sanctum in the SpongeBob text generator. It is fitting and right.
We should be making Latin chants with the SpongeBob generator.
It is fitting and it is right and it is necessary for salvation that all creatures be subject to the Roman Pontiff. That's going to be said by SpongeBob.
It's like SpongeBob doing the speech where he's like, I feel like there's an episode where he like does like and he keeps going, and he talks the Goofy Goober speech. In the SpongeBob movie. If we can get it to do it in the cadence of like him in front of a crowd saying, everyone needs to be subject to the Holy Roman
Now
Pontiff.
Therefore we declare, say, determine, and pronounce that for every human creature, it is necessary for salvation to be subject to the authority of the Roman Pontiff. I'm going to put that into a SpongeBob.
Huge.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Can I just put it in? Just got to click it?
Yeah. Can we do this after the podcast?
Yeah. I'm just...
This is my last day with my wife, and so the longer I spend with you, a person I'm about to spend 11 days with, the more that questions get asked.
All right, let's do this. How many episodes are we recording?
All right. Just 2. We just got to do 2 quickies.
Cool.
Speaking of quickies, did you know we each get our own hotel room?
I did.
That's insane.
That's wild. I was so worried that I was going to have to sleep in the same room as you again.
Why were you worried?
Well, because we have to do that all the time. You know, it's like every event we've ever done together, we've had to sleep in the same room, except for like Seek this year, you know?
Because now we're married. All right, let's do interesting part. Welcome to The Crunch, the only podcast that's in Israel right now. It's your boy Ethan.
And I'm Patrick. Oh boy, are we going to be sunburned.
I know that we said in our podcasts last week that there were going to be no episodes, but then Patrick's wife is gone and I got the day off from work today and we were like, we could squeeze a couple episodes out before we go.
We could knock some through, you know? And then
just juice the lemon a bit. Because I was just looking, can I just be honest with you?
Sure.
Can I be very honest?
Of course.
I was looking at our download numbers.
Oh no!
And I was like,
I hate when you do that.
We're on track. We're on track to have our best month of all time.
Oh, okay.
By like a large margin. And if we just stop uploading, then we won't get there.
Mm-hmm.
But if we keep uploading, then we will get there.
Yeah.
And so
emergency podcast.
It's like, yeah, pilgrimage is spiritual, all this. You should be prepared. But like, what if our download numbers are down?
What if our download numbers are down?
Has anybody, like, that's going to be the little thing that I tuck into the Wailing Wall. It's like, please make numbers go up.
You roll it up into a little piece of paper and tuck it into the dwelling place of the God of Israel. Please make podcast go big.
Yeah. Do you think that's what Trump did when he was at the Wailing Wall? He had a little.
What do you think he put in the Wailing Wall?
Probably he wished for larger hands.
Probably.
Potentially. That's what I would ask God for. Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
What? Look at what?
The micro. If I turn this microphone knob down, the microphone gets quieter. Okay, cool. That's good.
That's probably.
I was
good.
clipping the microphone, and so I was concerned.
Yeah, I'm glad you're no longer concerned. You know, we don't have to worry about that when we're in the Holy Land, which we are right now.
This is your first time out of the country too, right?
It is my first time out of the country.
This is the longest plane ride that you've ever been on?
Yeah, by like a long shot. Tomorrow's gonna be.
What do you mean? What do you mean tomorrow? You mean tomorrow and the day after? That's how long we're gonna be traveling.
Dude,
I told my mom, like, Mom, tomorrow we're gonna be in the Holy Land, and she's like, No, Patrick, no. Thursday we're gonna be in the Holy Land.
It's crazy. So I mapped out it all because I was just trying to figure out where. So it's like I leave Oklahoma City at 7 a.m. I get to Chicago at like 9:30. I leave Chicago at 11:30. I get to New York at 3 or something like that. We leave New York at 6 p.m. We get to London at 6. London. I've been watching a bunch of Kitchen Nightmares clips on YouTube to get my Gordon Ramsay impression down so that I can do it for all the people that I find at the airport.
Great.
Be like, hey, I literally, it'd be so.
I had breakfast with a guy. I had a business breakfast with a guy from Yorkshire yesterday. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm going to London for the first time. And he's like, when? I'm like, oh, a couple days. He's like, oh, what are you doing there? Layover.
Oh, just transferring. Yeah.
Airport. I'm going to old London town. And he's like, yeah, that doesn't count. And I'm like, oh, it does to me.
It does count because I'm going to find a local, what do they call them there? The people who work in shops. Clerks. I'm going to pick me up a couple of boys. Well, not like that.
Not like that.
But I meant to say like I'm gonna gather a gang of guys,
like a group of fellas, you know,
like a group of fellas.
Yeah.
Pick me up a couple of boys. We're gonna go down. We're gonna go get in the channel, and we're gonna go on to France. We're gonna have a good time, and we're going to into you donkey. I love doing accents because like 75% of the time. I'm like not there, and it's really bad.
Yeah.
But like 25% of the time, I hit it, and it feels so good when you hit it.
Go.
It feels. I was like, oh man, it's great.
Oh man, I'm so excited. I'm excited for the layover specifically because you and me are gonna be like snickering to each other about being in London, and no one's gonna think it's funny. Yeah. Except for us. Just like.
Is there any way we can take the tube to get to our next plane?
Just find like the largest fella there and be like, GK Chesterton, I'm your biggest fan.
Oh my god, dude. That's so funny. Oh man. You guys watch Ted Lasso?
Yeah,
you guys
right.
Seen that?
Yo, we're gonna play some footy.
Gonna go play some footy, but I'm a guy from Kansas. And I think
hey, you are Ted Lasso. Because you're a guy from Kansas.
Straight up.
Yeah.
It's like he's from Wichita in Kansas City. I'm from Wichita and also Kansas City, except I'm not really from Wichita. My mom's from Wichita. But I am. And I'm a football guy. Mm-hmm. Always have been. Big football guy.
Big football guy.
So I think if I tell people like, hey, I know Ted Lasso, they'll be like, oi, oh, they'll be like that.
I think it's funny. To fly to London just to transfer to another place, because to me London is like a destination in and of itself.
Yes.
And so it's funny to go.
That's how I feel about New York. Like my first time to New York is a layover.
The airport,
which sucks.
I have been to New York though. I've been to the World Trade Center. I went up the towers like a year or so before. Yeah. When I was 5.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You basically were there the day of.
I was in Rochester, New York, 1 month before 9/11. So who knows?
Yeah.
Could have been me.
And my dad actually works at 9/11. So he's
I tell you that one time
what's
that
interesting
a friend of mine got mad at me because I made a 9/11 joke.
Really?
Yeah, she's like, my uncle was a police officer in New York City on 9/11. And I was like, hey, guess what?
Yeah.
So was mine. Trump card. There you go. Got him.
Wow. You know who else was there? Trump card.
He was there. He was watching going, oh my
I
goodness.
saw the debris.
Oh my goodness.
I saw the debris. It was raining down.
This is terrifying. Although, wait, hold on.
was saying-
Run the numbers. Does that make my tower the most profit? The
I don't think
most
Trump
expensive?
says run the numbers.
Run the numbers. Look it up. Adam, come here. I need to ask you a question. I need you to keep this on the down low. Check the property value. Is this going to make it go up or down?
Which airline was it? It was probably a failing airline. Probably not mine. He probably was thinking about, like, was it a Trump plane?
Was it a Trump
That's
plane?
That's all probably he cared about. Yeah. Oh, poor guy. Anyway, I think it's a shame.
I think 9/11 was the best thing to ever happen to Family Guy.
What are you talking about?
They go to that well so often.
Oh,
you know?
9/11?
Yeah.
So do we, to be fair.
That's fair.
So,
That is fair.
Yeah.
Never runs dry.
No. The last thing I want to say about New York is that it's crazy to me that the New York airport is called JFK and the Dallas airport isn't.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get you.
Like he didn't what was he doing there?
I feel like you can't name that. It's also, yeah, that's the Dallas airport.
Do you also know that Hillary Clinton killed his brother? I just learned that.
What did he know about the Clintons? What did he know?
He was this is actually, do you not know this?
Oh, I do know this. This is a very well documented conspiracy theory.
So his brother was running for state senator against Hillary.
Yeah.
And like he was ahead in the polls, and like 2 days before the election, he died in a plane crash across the ocean, and Hillary won.
Wow.
And so it's like, that's interesting. Are we gonna be allowed to leave the country? Oh, this podcast will go up when we're gone, so they'll let us back in.
They'll hopefully. Let us, hopefully.
If they let Tim Dillon travel, then they probably should let us travel.
Yeah, really. I mean, what threat do we pose to the international community? In fact, we're probably an asset. We're probably being sent over there bug because they know we're going to hear a bunch of things.
We're cute, and so our podcast is a honeypot for international relations. They like come to us because you guys are cute and funny, and we're going to tell you state secrets. And we're like, all right.
All right. Let me get my notebook.
Come on down.
Going to write it down.
So excited to go to the Holy Land. Excited to do the pilgrimage. We leave in like 12 hours, and it feels good.
It's not true, but yeah.
A little bit. It's 15 hours, something like that.
That's true. Yeah, I guess.
I have further to go because but anyway, I was tracing our flight. So we go, it's to JFK, and then we fly to London, and we get to London at like 6:30 in the morning, and then we leave from London at 8:30 to go to Tel Aviv, and then we get to Tel Aviv at like 2:00 in the afternoon, something like that. Mm-hmm. And then it's a 2-hour drive from Tel Aviv to what's it called? What's the name of it? It's the Sea of Galilee.
Yeah.
Which is apparently not the Mediterranean. Like, no. I thought that those were the same body of water.
No, Tel Aviv is on the Mediterranean.
Right. So we're going to go to Galilee, and we're going to stay in this hotel that I'm not going to name the name of, but the name of the hotel is very funny.
It is.
And I guess by the time this comes out, we won't be there anymore, will we?
No, this will come out this Sunday.
This will come out on Sunday.
Yeah, so we'll be there.
And we'll be gone. No, we'll be gone. We'll be going to Bethlehem.
What is someone gonna do if they hear this episode and they want if the one person who texted us that lives in the Holy Land wants to come to see us at the hotel, they can do that. We're not Michael Jackson.
What if they have ill intent?
I don't think they do. We're at a point in our pod. We have not hit the ill intent hate listener. We might soon. People have not been kind on Instagram. They've been very mean.
To be fair, you have been stirring the pot a little bit. The name of the hotel is Ron Beach. which is just really funny.
And Ethan's room number is.
Oh no. Oh boy. So let's talk a bit about the things that you've been doing to make people upset. First and foremost, your haircut.
Yes.
Now.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize, and I'm being 100% honest here, that I always imagined your head was kind of squared.
My
off
head
at
is
the top.
round. Yeah.
But you have a pretty round head.
I've like kind of the height and the length of the beard was to kind of elongate the head, but no, I have a very round head.
I don't think.
Nice.
Thanks. Peter's sleeping, I think, so I tried not to.
Yeah, I get you.
Anyway, but I did not. I've known you for almost 7 years now. I didn't realize that you had a round head. I always thought that. Like if I had to make a me of you, that I would have to pick the one that kind of went up like this and not.
No,
the one
it's
that
deceiving. It's deceiving.
Circular.
Yeah, I've always tried to go for the high up hair, just because I like.
I think
that
you
look.
I think you look better this way.
Really?
Can I say that?
Yeah.
I think you look very clean.
Okay.
I think I really.
Thank you.
I think it's nice. Not that you didn't look clean before, but like something. When I saw this, I was like, and you posted that reel of you in the black shirt with the chain. I was like, dang. Where's this guy been?
What the
hot guy Catholic podcast?
Thank you.
Sign me up. Patreon.com/The Crunch.
That sure did look good on me. I tell you what, it was so comfy.
Gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was one of those.
Don't say the name of the brand
Why not?
because we are not sponsored, and I.
Oh, it was one of those like pack of 3 shirts. Like it wasn't even like a off the rack. Like it was was in a bag. And I opened it and I tried it on. I was like, dang. But then I put it in the washing machine and it shrank, so it doesn't look good anymore. So I got to get a new one.
Was it an Old Navy shirt?
No.
Dang. Old Navy shirts always shrink.
Really?
For me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just too hard on my muscles stretch out the fabric and
I'm convinced. I'm thinking about maybe getting an XL next time, and then it'll shrink down to a large. Because I got a large and it shrunk down. But I don't know.
It's weird though because it's hard for guys like me because I got a weird shape to me. Like I've got a. They didn't make me from the molds. They kind of, like there was a factory worker who went a bit rogue when they drew my outline, and I need like shirts that are longer, but the ones that are longer are also wider.
Yeah.
And so if I get the ones that actually fit me this way, then I look like I'm wearing a crop top. But if I get the shirts that fit me this way, then I look like Kevin Smith. And so there's no good there's no good way to do it. I need to find someone that makes shirts for 155-pound, 5'9" men. And if only someone would help out us,
Yeah, the 6'2" guys have had it too easy for too long. The XL boys have had it too easy for too long.
It's hard to be perfectly average in this country.
Oh man.
I mean it. I'm hurting.
But thank you. I was insecure about the haircut because I wasn't sure. It's not a look that I've gone. I knew I was like, all right, I'm going to regret it if I don't cut. I can always grow hair back. It was kind of the opposite of the normal wisdom, which is cut off less, and then if you want more cut off, you can. It was the opposite. I was like, cut it all off now. Yeah. Growing it back is free.
Really easy. Yeah.
Going back to the barber is not free. So let's cut it off now while I'm here, and then if I hate it, I'll grow it back. But this is purely survival. This is purely it's going to be too hot there.
Yes.
Yeah.
How hot's it going to be? I haven't looked at the weather.
The temperature at the Dead Sea, the high is 108.
Don't pick the hottest place.
Yeah,
What's it going to be? What's it going to be at like the Sea of Galilee?
In Tel Aviv, it was 80 degrees.
Oh, sick.
At midnight.
Okay, that's still good.
That's bad. No, that's not good. That's so hot.
That's good. It's 100. It's like 102 degrees right now
in
Oklahoma.
The world has been preparing us for this. Yeah, everyone's always on Florida about how hot it is, but I'm like, it gets pretty hot in the rest of the world.
Other places.
Yeah.
We just got our first energy bill for the new house.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw my tweet about this, but last summer, for this energy bill that we had at our old rental house, in a house that's about like half the size as what this house is. Like small, much smaller, one AC unit. This house bigger, 2 stories, 2 AC units. My energy bill was $30 cheaper here than it was at the smaller house.
Insulation is better, huh?
Which is, insulation's way better. And I said this on Twitter. None of my doors here have cracks in between the door and the door frame where you can see like an inch of daylight in between where the door ends and the door frame begins, which is what I had at my last house.
Oh, wow.
Like there would just be bugs that would crawl through my door.
Ew.
Because it was awful.
You didn't have like a door stop, like a door skirt or something?
No, it was like on the side. Like there was no way to, yeah, it was kind of messed up. But anyway, so I'm feeling good. I did get something in the mail. Can I go get it and put it on and show you?
Yeah, is it the, Go ahead. Go get the little hat you bought.
Vamp while I'm back.
Is it a hat? All right, folks, in the comments below, tell me what you think. Don't skip ahead. Tell me what you think Ethan is about to bring. Or go to youtube.com and type in the Crunch Podcast in the search bar, and you can watch this week's episode so you can be as surprised as me when he comes back to that door. I think it's a hat. It's got to be something for the Holy Land. Maybe it's a shirt that says Holy Land on it, but in the I Heart New York font. That'd be funny. Oh, it's definitely a hat. Look at it. Oh, it's a hood of it's some kind of, yeah, it's a hat. I was right. He's so proud of his hat. It looks good.
Hello.
Now you just look like a Handmaid's Tale.
Hold on. What do you think?
I like it. You rock the bucket hat. I got a I don't know if you like a stiff brim. It's like an immovable brim, so it's not floppy. I don't know what you call that. It's just a brim. I got a fedora. Like a wide brimmed fedora. Yeah. Like Indiana Jones fedora.
Patrick, no. You bought a fedora?
Yeah, but it's not it's like a hiking fedora.
You just were like, I got the sickest haircut that anybody's ever gotten in the history of mankind, and I'm just going to cancel it all out. I'm just going to negate it.
It doesn't look like a fedora, like a Reddit fedora.
Ladies. It's going to be you.
The fedora that you're thinking of is the one that I was wearing in that Instagram reel, right?
Yeah.
No,
funny.
That would do basically nothing. No, I have a fedora that's like a wide brim. So it goes out like here, and the only reason why it's a fedora is because like the tip is like easy to take on and take off and go, "Milady," and yeah, it's very fun. But it has a mesh top, so it doesn't look like a fedora. I don't look like a Cuban gangster, but I will enter that era. I look good in it. All right.
Okay.
Although who knows? Who knows? Maybe I always think I look good in things, and then Phoebe goes, "No." Or I'll like.
I think that's just the universal husband experience.
Or I'll look awful in something, and then Phoebe will be like, "You look great." Except for the pictures that Rob took of me, that I knew that those were good, and Phoebe was like, "Those look good." My new Twitter profile.
Did you
picture.
like my emojis that I posted of you?
No. Where?
Did you see them?
Where?
In that thread that we were talking about, Patrick changed his profile picture to one of him with glasses to one of him without glasses.
Oh. I know what you mean, yeah.
And I posted the 2 emojis where it's like the super nerdy emoji and then the one of the guy with the backwards hat going. That's the glow up that you went through.
I figured that was what you bet. But my eyes don't look little and beady in those. Oh my gosh, the bags under my eyes. Holy cow. I'm not sleeping well.
Gosh, that's horrifying.
What?
Anyway, there's a lot to talk about on the pilgrimage, things that we want to do, but I think we should leave it for when we get back. But I'm excited. I'm excited to go to London for 2 hours.
That's the part that I'm excited for.
I'm gonna milk that time. I'm gonna look up everybody that I can do impressions of, and I'm gonna just do it over and over again.
I'm gonna do an impression of what's the guy from Monty Python? I'm gonna do an impression of the Queen. Hello, I'm the Queen. Now I'm gonna do an impression of Alan Rickman. Now I'm gonna do an impression of Jimmy Savile. Too soon. Was
You
that
wanna see
funny?
my impression of the Queen? Oh man, you stole my
Sorry.
joke.
I thought yeah, sorry, you're right.
That's all right. Just steal it.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna commit. I was gonna fall out of my chair, and you just, man. Much like the Queen stole all of those artifacts from those countries, you stole my bit.
Sorry.
That's all right. I don't much mind. Comedy's for everyone, not just for one person. Do you think it'll be hard to get sponsors if we keep joking about 9/11?
No.
All right.
No, our sponsors don't listen to our podcast.
That's a really good point.
Mhm.
We could say anything.
Yeah, they don't know.
Wow.
They don't know what we do.
We're in business. Do you have like a topic or something to talk about today? Anything that's on your mind? Anything that's buzzing?
No, a lot of good things have been happening recently.
Yeah, tell me about that Instagram conversation that you had with that guy, that live
Oh
stream.
yeah, that was fun. So
Turning Point USA.
my I like the tag still on the the hat.
What? I just got it. I might leave it on to let people know that I'm a tourist.
Oh, they'll know. They'll know. You're a white guy in the
Why?
Middle East.
Okay. I thought we had this whole thing about how Jesus could still be white even though he's in the Middle East. But all of a sudden when I'm coming over, then it's like not cool to be white and in the Middle East.
Jesus looked like Ethan Stevie.
That's not what I'm trying to say, but according to some statues in American churches, it is true. So what can you do?
I've been stirring the pot. In my defense, I've been stirring the pot on Instagram with Protestant things. But then I just posted like a regular old rosary thing, and people
Yeah.
were still mad in the comments. So I don't think I'm...
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think it's just like par for the course. I think it's just part of reality.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna try and find other stuff that works too. But like, if something works, you have to keep doing it. That's just, I mean, whatever. We're here to promote the podcast. So
That's all I care about.
someone DM'd us on Instagram and said, "Hey, do you want to do an Instagram live and talk about religion?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I had no idea what he wanted to talk about. But you said he was from Turning Point USA, and so I was like, "Oh, he might want to talk about like religion in America and blah 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 blah." I didn't know if he was Catholic or Protestant. But did you watch the live?
No, I haven't had the chance to.
It's only 30 minutes. It's not too bad. But he
Nice.
he hops on. He's like, "Yeah, I was thinking like we could do like have like I'm a Protestant Christian, and I saw some of your videos, and I want to talk about Catholicism and Protestantism, and like have a little debate." And I was like, "Oh no!"
Cool.
I
Cool.
was like,
Patrick, you can't. No, you're the person that's probably the most prepared. To
I
have
was
that
like,
happen
I'm
to you
totally
out of the blue.
unprepared.
The music comes in.
But it's really funny because right before the live started, I got a text from my one of my coworkers, and he was like, "Hey, the CEO wants to talk to you," and I was like, "Ah!" So I was like, "I have to be off in 30 minutes." So I had a time crunch, name of the podcast. But it was good though because it meant that he had to like really stick to the. But he had like notes, he had topics he wanted to talk
Whoa.
about. Yeah, he was ready,
Whoa.
and
Dang.
I think I did well.
You think you crushed him?
Yeah, I think I did.
Like a little grape?
No. I think
You juiced him?
it was a good. No, I don't think so. He was like he said some stuff that I didn't expect. Like I didn't expect him to say that he believed that the Eucharist was really Jesus.
A lot of Protestants say that.
But I
which
think
is,
we had a great conversation about the ramifications of that, about how like if it's the case that just a guy can become a pastor and then all of a sudden he's able to turn bread into God. But he was I was like, "How do you know that your pastor can do that?" He's like, "Well, I know him. He's very holy. I believe that God is called to be a pastor and pastors can do that." And I was like, "Oh no, that's Donatism."
Yeah.
Believing that someone can turn the Eucharist into the bread into into the body of Christ because they're super holy. But what Kelly, my sister-in-law, is in town, and she mentioned that a lot of Protestants believe that it's the assembly, the power of the assembly, that makes Jesus present, and in a unique way, it's in the bread and the wine. And I think that's also very difficult because does that mean that like what if when we're all gathered together at a restaurant, does the garlic bread turn into God? Or like, is it only if we all agree this is a worship service? What if one of us doesn't think it's a worship service? Is it God then? Like, you got to really be careful. You got to be able to point at that thing and go, that's God. Because if it's God, you're going to worship it. And if it's not God, you should not worship it. And so it's...
How do you determine anything about the assembly? Like, is it just the intensity of the feeling? Because in that case, a football game would have the so-called power to like turn bread into wine.
Yeah.
Or turn bread into wine. We really are screwing up, like saying what the Eucharist is over and over again.
Eucharistic revival, baby. That's why we need it, I guess.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. 1 year from yesterday. Be there. Katie McGrady, a speaker, official. Huge. At the National Eucharistic Congress. Patrick Nevy, a speaker, potentially official. Why not?
I'm not speaking at the Eucharistic Congress. I don't have the draw that Katie has.
You don't, but the draw, nobody's going for Katie. Consequently, no one's going for you. They're going because it's the National Eucharistic Congress. So we might as well put the best speakers in the country up there.
Sure.
And I'm picking you.
Thank you.
In my fantasy draft of Catholic speakers, it's going number 1, Katie McGrady. Number 2, Sean Forrest. Number 3.
Who's that? I don't know who Sean Forrest is.
He was at my Steubenville conference like 10 years ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He's great. He used to be like a singer musician, but then sold his boat and founded an orphanage in Haiti. He was really funny.
Oh, I know who that is. Yep.
Yeah. Number 3, Matt Fradd.
Huge.
Number 4, Scott Hahn. Number 5, Trent Horn. Number 6, Katie McGrady, but the second talk that she would give. What were we doing?
You were listing your fantasy draft of Catholic speakers.
Just giving you a hard time. Patrick, give you number 1.
The hard time was that I wasn't on the list yet.
I kept not picking.
The entire time I was like, this is a solid group.
This is a great list.
I was like, I mean, Trent, I haven't heard Trent speak in years, so maybe I don't know, but like,
I've heard him speak once. I think I fell asleep during it. No offense to Trent, but
Trent is an incredibly logical fella, you know?
I was trying to come up with more names that weren't you, and I was grasping at straws.
That's good.
I don't know who the speakers are anymore.
Not anymore.
Because I don't go to conferences. Yeah.
But yeah, no, good one. So the what is it?
So he had notes, and you were talking about the Eucharist.
Yeah, we talked about the Eucharist a little bit. We talked about the Eucharist. That was really huge. We talked about the Pope briefly, and I was kind of like, I think the misunderstanding is that Catholics believe that every word that falls from the mouth of the Pope is the word of God itself, and that's incorrect. Right. And he was like, oh. And I was like, yeah, so that's just not right. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, yeah, it's like you trust your pastor. We trust our Pope. But we also believe that when Jesus said that he would always be with us and that the Spirit would reveal things, that was applied to the Pope and the bishops. So, like, maybe you believe that about your pastor, right? And he goes, no. And I was like, okay, well, then what did Jesus mean, I guess? That's kind of like, I guess that's my question to you then. Is like,
yeah.
Or did we talk about that? No, we didn't talk about that verse specifically. I don't want to mischaracterize it. But, yeah, we didn't talk about the Pope very long because it was kind of just like, oh, yeah, I don't believe that. And we moved on. And we talked about the Eucharist. And then we talked about, right at the end, he asked me, oh, my gosh. What was it? It was a really good question that we didn't have time for.
Probably the saints, praying to the saints.
No,
Mary,
it wasn't that.
Priests, sacraments, moral issues, contraception.
Remember? Oh, well, it'll come back to me. But it was a very fun conversation. I would like to do it again.
Cool.
Popular wisdom on Instagram is you should do an Instagram live every week.
We should do that. Can we do a live from London?
London? Yeah.
That'd be so fun.
It'd be fun.
Dude. Oh.
Think they have Wi-Fi in England?
Just thinking about it. Hey, you got the Wi-Fi.
Oh, you got. They probably call it something to like. Oh, you got the. What do they call it, Ethan?
They just call it wireless over there. They don't say Wi-Fi.
Really? That is weird.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the wireless.
I'm standing in the queue waiting to get the password for the wireless on me telly. on me. Oh, they're so dumb.
I saw I saw a TikTok making fun of Americans. It was like, we call it an indicator because it indicates which direction we want to turn. I call it a blinker because it goes blink. Which I thought was funny. But they do the same thing with like the telly. It's like, that's a really silly thing. That's a silly thing to call it.
I call it the cell phone because it uses a cellular pattern of radio frequencies to transmit signals through a tower to other radio receivers. I call it a telly because I tell people things on it.
No, the telly is the television.
Oh, I thought a telly was the telephone.
Yeah, a cell phone is a celly.
A celly?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know anything about their culture.
I know.
I should read a couple books before I go.
I don't know. I should dump a bunch of water on an English muffin and see what their cuisine is like. Just black sludge on something.
Is it like the opposite of the Boston Tea Parties where you put a bunch of water on pastries?
That's the second part of the Boston Tea Party.
Yeah.
Me putting Bush's baked beans
and your pastries are moist.
Me putting an English muffin is not a pastry in no sense of the word. Me putting Boston baked beans on toast. just
What is an English muffin if not a pastry?
Can't possibly be a pastry. It's like a bagel.
Bagel's a pastry.
This is insane. This is not this is not true.
I like beans on toast in the
The layers here are fine. It's like several layers of like there's the midwit. There's the midwit like, "Oi, governor!" Like, it's funny because they talk funny, and then the dumb side, and the midwit is the wow, that's so disrespectful to other people's cultures, and then the galaxy brain is, "Oi, governor! It's a jolly good day, isn't it? Which way to the planey waity?" That's great.
It's really funny.
We're gonna have more fun in London than we are in the Holy Land. How far is it from England to the Holy Land?
It's like a 5 or 6 hour flight.
Oh geez.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm not excited. I do have a question for you though.
Okay.
Because I'm starting to be like, all right, fine. I've kind of maxed out all my prot content. Not really, but like, I'm just getting to a point where I'm tired of talking about it. What other like topic is as divisive but not? Because like Protestantism and Catholicism is a divisive topic that can lead to conversation. You know, I've seen some really good conversations result from these reels. What's another topic? Should I start going hard on abortion next?
Yeah, I was gonna say Catholic social teaching is.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
because you've got a ton of things that are included in that are gonna get people on both sides, Catholic and not Catholic, upset. So like, the abortion issue obviously is one. Contraception, natural family planning, and just like openness to life in general, and like what Humanae Vitae actually says versus what people who preach NFP actually do. You know, that could get spicy. So you've got you've got the LGBTQ stuff, gay marriage, transgenderism, gay adoption. You got monetary policy, so you can get into why interest rates are mortally sinful and usurious, and capitalism being what it is, distributism, socialism, all those different things.
Yo, that's true. Yeah, because it could be like you know, the Republicans talking about how good capitalism is. Democrats no socialism, and then the Monsters Inc. meme of Leo the 13th busting through the door. That's a good one.
Yes.
I'll do that one next.
Exactly. So there's so many things that you can say. Like I was thinking about doing one about the student debt relief. Well, it was a big topic. I didn't make it while it was still a thing that people were talking about. But you know, Republicans were like, "Oh, don't take out loans that you can't pay for. You know, it's your decision. You gotta pay it back. You know, it's you made that choice." The Democrats are like, the interest rates are so high that everyone is paying interest forever and never making a dent in the principal. The system itself is unjust, and you shouldn't. You know, this doesn't make any sense. Republicans are like, well, It might be unjust, but you took the unjust loan. You made that decision, so you got to deal. You got
That's
to.
really
It's
silly,
unjust to not handle the consequences.
That's incorrect.
And then the
but yeah.
Catholics, yeah, I know, I agree. I think they're both incorrect because I think then the Catholic opinion is forgive all debt every 7 years anyway. You know, like that's
why are you even offering unjust loans? Let's just
right. So it's you can kind of do things like that. So the monetary policy, you can talk about other religions other than Protestantism, Islam, Judaism. Careful. You could talk about atheism, relativism, postmodernism. Like there's lots of different things that fall under the, because basically if you just say what the Catholic teaching is on a thing, there's going to be an opposing viewpoint with a lot of adherents. And so you just have to figure out what that group is and then say that, simplify it down to where they can argue with you.
Yeah, because the next group was like atheism, but I just couldn't like garner any. Like I really don't care. Like to me, it's just the reason why I'm going so hard on
because most people aren't atheists.
Yeah,
most people are like lapsed in their faith and are functionally atheists, but say that they're Christians.
That's a good point. Yeah, it doesn't feel like punching down. It just feels like useless.
Right.
You know.
Right. It's like arguing against a group that it's like, oh, this is why we need to stop the people that are trying to dye all of the cats green, and it's like no one that's wrong, but like no one's doing that.
No one's doing it.
Like,
like we get
right, there might be one guy.
We get maybe like half a dozen comments over the course of this past month from people like, oh, all your religions are silly fairy tales, and I just reply with Reddit is down the hall and to the left. That's just it. That's all you need to say, because it just shuts them down. Where it's like atheism has become just this like punching bag. The only atheist I respect is the Real Atheology guy in our Discord. The only atheist that I respect. Because at least he's thinking about things. He's not just like, religion is Sky Daddy. You know? Like, that's just...
Yeah. I was going to say that I respect Ricky Gervais because I enjoy some of his comedy.
I don't respect Ricky Gervais.
I don't think I can say that. I can do a Ricky Gervais impression when I'm over there.
Yeah? Yeah? Go for it.
All of my Ricky Gervais impressions are words that I can't say on the podcast.
Oh, jeez.
I can do his laugh, but it would have to be really loud and really high pitched, and Peter is asleep right next to me, so I can't do the. Otherwise I would bust out the Ricky Gervais laugh.
Huge.
Anyway, sorry, I was just thinking about Ricky.
But I was just thinking about Ricky. I am excited though. I'm excited to go to the Holy Land and film a bunch of things. I'm excited to keep posting. Dude, while we're in the Holy Land. I'm gonna try.
You know, our hotel in Galilee has a swimming pool. You know how we talked about doing a podcast in the pool? We gotta do a podcast in the pool.
Gotta do a podcast in the pool.
We gotta do a podcast in the pool. How can we not?
How can we not podcast in pool? I don't think I'm ready for people to see my body, my soft, doughy body.
We could podcast in the gym at the hotel instead, if that makes you feel better.
Yeah, that works.
Going to the Holy Land just to get a couple pumps in and then coming back. Man. I think I do think that there is. So the reason that I think that these conversations, I like change my tune a little bit. I was thinking, the more I was thinking about it, it's like, okay, the problem is that Catholicism is so milquetoast and so bland in the public perception that no one cares about it or thinks about it.
Yes.
And so the fact that we have made so many people even like care enough about Catholicism to post against Catholicism means that like we're going in the right direction.
Yeah, and the fact that I think Reels is the whole mission of us doing things on Instagram is to reach people that we're not following. And it used to be the case that are not following us. And it used to be the case that everyone on a social media that you reach is someone who is your audience or similar. But now with Instagram, you can reach outside your audience. And so like I've received a lot of invitations from people who want to debate me on a topic. And that one with that guy was the only one that I accepted because he had reach. And it was like, because I know that his audience is going to be different from us and they might, need to hear the message, as opposed to, my audience that already agrees with me, liking the posts. It's just not, which is like what I feel like Catholic social media for a while was. Like us on Twitter was just, you make a joke about how Catholics are right and there's all likes, no comments. It's just kind of shows that you're not hitting it right.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I think that's a good point. You know, a little more Catholic social teaching content might make things better.
Because that's the thing that people struggle with the most. It's not necessarily like nobody's leaving the church because they're like, oh, I don't know about papal infallibility. They're like leaving it because they're like, oh, I think gay people should be able to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the issue. So I think you keep and you do some of those. You'll dip back into the other well. You'll mix it up. I think there's enough truth in the Catholic Church that people hate that we'll be able to say enough things that will garner enough attention to keep us growing. And then we'll get to 100,000 followers, and then we'll be rich, and we'll be famous. And then we're going to cook Matt Fradd on a spit, and we're going to eat him for dinner. And he's going to say, bloody hell, I thought, Steve Irwin. And we're going to cook him and eat him. And then we're going to do our Ricky Gervais impression as we do that. And it'll be very fun.
That's awesome. I'm so excited. So excited.
Matt, if you're listening to this, I don't want to cook and eat you. It's a metaphor for how we're going to win. We wag me.
And then cook and eat you. And then you and Matt would get along. I know you guys did at Seek. So? I think you guys you guys have like personalities that mesh where you guys are both very abrasive.
Yeah.
I
think if I had some time with Matt where we were able to just talk and I could tell him some jokes and I could be myself, I think he'd really find me entertaining.
Didn't that happen at Seek?
Nah, I don't think that was the right venue.
Okay.
Put a microphone in front of me, put me on the set of Pints with Aquinas.
Points with Aquinas.
Points. Anyway. All right, that's it for this episode. We got to wrap it up. We got to do another one.
Wrap it.
Quick and fast.
Move on.
Yeah.
Well,
and
yeah.
We got to do what?
That's hold on, quick story. So
right,
Matt's building in Steubenville was built in the Victorian era. So there's a Victorian era elevator, and it's a very old looking elevator. And in this building, there is a basement, a lobby, and a mezzanine, and then second floor, third floor, fourth floor, right? And so it's a really old building where you can like go to the basement, you go to the lobby, or you can go to the mezzanine, which overlooks the lobby. And so the floors are in the elevator in Matt Fradd's building. The elevator indicates that you're on the basement, the lobby, or the mezzanine. So in Matt Fradd's building, there's an elevator. Every day he looks at this and it says BLM.
BLM. That's really funny.
Every day.
That's so good. Poor Matt. Just seething in the elevator every morning. With my morning coffee on Locals. BLM. Riots.
The demonic left.
The demonic left. Brett Cooper. All right, we're not doing any more impressions on this show.
Yeah.
For the next month, we're done with impressions. We've done too much today.
Only you.
We
not me.
Spent it all.
Not I.
Yeah.
Not I.
Well, thanks for indulging us on this episode. We just wanted to get something out to you guys while we were away. We're going to be back to the regular scheduled program in August. But we're excited to go. Follow us on Instagram if you want to see the shenanigans of what we're getting up to. It's at the Crunchcast on Instagram. That's where we're going to post everything that we're doing. And subscribe here if you haven't to catch all of our podcasts that we do. Patrick, do you have anything else with people?
Tune in next week when I alienate all of our Catholic listeners and followers on Instagram.
Thank you all for listening. Please pray for us. We pray for you. See you all.